When you look at the evidence that John Lennon and Ronald Reagan pulled a Houdini sort of operation, a Hollywood con job, in light of the porno genocide and other acts of God like the murder of JFK that come out in the Texas school book, likely co-authored by Trumpy Tunes gang. We see what a brilliant strategy it really is. Lennon always said he was a genius. Well, since I'm right about what happened, you can see what he meant. It's very difficult not to have the whole thing nullified. One of the things they're setting up for Queen Elizabeth in her defense operation regarding the obvious fact that Gail Burston was her agent is the idea that somehow the government of the United States is divinely inspired. And of course, when you see into that, you see the sacred partnership with the divine inspiration by Allah of Elton John and other unnameable beyond all fathom people who had slippery tongues. There were other countries, of course, who saw themselves as having heavenly mandates. Interestingly, China had a heavenly mandate until they came up against the very type of opium warrior that the Beatles were, outmaneuvered by an inferior navy who battled them from off shores where they couldn't be reached with slightly more sophisticated firearms. China's Qing dynasty, spelled Qing, eventually fell because of, in part, the questioning of the heavenly dynasty that the Opium War engendered when they were defeated and culturally enslaved to the British. So, conversely, our subjection as America to opium warriors who started sex, drugs, and rock and roll as a wing of the Axis arise in the Vietnam War era assures an embrace of the heavenly mandate of drug varminty, of monsters like Mick Jagger. Our embrace of them proves that we are worthy of falling as a heavenly mandate. I mean, it's very garbled. How are the Beatles heavenly inspired to launch an opium war against the United States the way that they did? It's gibberish. And it's part of a consistent theme that you can't argue with heavenly mandates. They are beyond reason, they are beyond our mere grasp. So, complicity in acts of God, like pornography, genocide, and the murder of the Kennedys, is a higher order of shamish, which exposes the hand of the Ouspensky circle, a gang I have talked about in other videos.